All right, today we're diving into a really powerful piece of ancient writing, one that's been a bedrock of hope for, well, centuries, Psalm 91. We're going to unpack its promises and see how it speaks directly to our very modern need for a little peace and protection in what feels like a pretty chaotic world. It all kicks off with a feeling that I think every single one of us gets. This line just says it all, doesn't it? That feeling of being totally overwhelmed, like you're carrying these burdens that are just way too heavy to handle on your own. It's a universal thing, and it's the exact problem this ancient text steps up to solve. So, what if the answer wasn't some new age technique, but something ancient? That's the big idea we're digging into here. The thought that this psalm isn't just beautiful old poetry, but an actual key, a way to find a deep, lasting peace, a real refuge from all the storms of life. So let's see how it proposes to do that. Okay, so right out of the gate, the psalm lays down its foundational promise. It starts by defining the very nature of this divine shelter. And spoiler alert, it's not just about a temporary hideout. It's about a completely new way of living. Let's really look at this word, refuge. The psalmist is making a huge distinction here. See, this is so much deeper than just a quick escape from trouble. It's described as a permanent dwelling. The idea is that you're supposed to live there, to make it your home. It's a place where your soul can find real, settled rest, not just a 5-minute break. And boom, here's the verse that sets the whole thing up. Notice those two key verbs, dwells and rest. It's a simple cause and effect, really. The act of dwelling, of choosing to live in this shelter, is what leads directly to a state of rest in that protective shadow. And just like that, the core promise is on the table. Now, the psalm doesn't just tell us we're protected, it paints these incredibly vivid pictures for us. It uses a whole series of powerful metaphors to give us a real, tangible sense of what this protection actually feels like. First up, the most basic one, shelter. Super simple, right? A shelter keeps the rain off your head, it protects you from the elements. This brings up that fundamental feeling of being safe from any immediate external danger. But then, it gets stronger, a fortress. Now, that's not just a shelter, that's a stronghold. It is literally built to withstand an attack. This metaphor takes us from simple safety to this feeling of deep, unbreakable security. It's a place that just can't be breached. And now the imagery gets active. A shield. A shield isn't a passive wall you hide behind. It's a tool you use right in the middle of a battle. It actively intercepts whatever is coming at you. This suggests a kind of protection that meets threats head-on. And finally, the metaphor becomes so personal, so tender. Being covered by wings. I mean, picture a mother bird protecting her young. This is about so much more than just a fence. This is about tenderness, loving care, and a profound sense of comfort, right in the middle of danger. So here's the crucial point. This incredible multi-layered protection isn't just random. The psalm anchors it in one specific thing, faithfulness. It's not about what you've done or how good you've been. It's about the consistent, reliable character of the protector. The defense is as dependable as God himself. Okay, so we've got this incredible armor, but what is it actually protecting us from? Well, the psalmist is very specific here. This is a 24/7, all-encompassing kind of protection that covers every type of fear imaginable. It basically breaks down our fears into two big categories. First, the terror of night. We all know this one. It's the internal stuff, the unseen dangers, the anxiety that creeps in when the world goes quiet, that endless list of worries that starts racing through your head at 3 a.m. Then you've got the arrow by day. These are the external threats. The things that hit you out of nowhere, that sudden difficult phone call, the unexpected crisis at work. The promise here is that you're covered for both. And to really hammer home the sheer scale of this protection, the psalm uses some pretty dramatic numbers. Let's start with this one, 10,000. It's meant to create this sense of absolutely overwhelming odds. And here is the payoff. Honestly, this is one of the most staggering promises in the whole text. It paints the picture of widespread disaster, of absolute chaos and destruction happening all around you, yet the person who dwells in that shelter, they're kept completely safe. It's a promise of supernatural preservation, even when it feels like the whole world is falling apart. So this leads to the obvious question, right? Okay, sounds great, but how? How does this protection actually work? Well, the psalm moves from the what to the how, and it describes the actual mechanics of this divine intervention. The first way this happens is through angels.
And they aren't just sort of hanging around. They are commanded, they are assigned to guard you. And the imagery is so specific. They lift you up so that you don't even stumble or stub your toe. I mean, that suggests a kind of meticulous, detailed, and loving care that is watching over every single step you take. But then something fascinating happens. There's this shift. The person being protected doesn't just stay a passive recipient of all this care. They get empowered. The whole posture changes from being hidden from danger to actively overcoming it. And the imagery here is just perfect. Lions and cobras. In the ancient world, these were the most powerful, most feared threats you could possibly imagine. And the promise isn't just about avoiding them. It's about having authority over them. It's a powerful metaphor for being given the strength to face down and defeat the most intimidating dangers in your life, both spiritual and physical. And all of this brings us to the climax of the psalm. The final verses are spoken directly from God's perspective, explaining exactly why all these promises are given and basically summing up the whole deal, the ultimate covenant. Now, this is so important. This entire system of protection kicks off because of a relationship. It's a response. The text says, "Because he loves me, therefore I will." This frames everything that follows not as some random gift, but as the direct divine reaction to a person's love and trust. And wow, what a response it is. It's this incredible six-fold promise that covers every part of life. It starts with a promise to rescue, then to protect, and to answer when he calls. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on to deliver and even honor him. Then, a promise to satisfy him with a long, full life. And the grand finale, I will show him my salvation. So when you put it all together, you see the psalm takes us on this complete journey. It starts with that feeling we all know so well, the weight of the world on our shoulders, and it walks us through this whole process that ends with the promise of honor, satisfaction, and the fullness of life. It's just a powerful, powerful arc from fear to ultimate security. And so that leaves us with one final big question. Because this isn't just about analyzing an ancient text, right? The psalm is an invitation. So the real takeaway is this. How would your day, your decisions, your worries, how would they all change if you actually lived as if this shelter, this armor, and these incredible promises were absolutely true for you?